right, the big surprises from those nominations.
Well, there's a lot of surprises to me. I mean, because they always tend to leave out what are the popular movies.
Right.
You know, the ones that do it. And also sometimes unpopular ones that are really great. And by that, I'm meaning The Master. The Master seems to have such wonderful performances in it since all three of the main characters are nominated.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, though, did get the nod for that,
He did get,
though.
as did Joaquin Phoenix,
Right.
the guy who came out and said, this Academy Award stuff is just all garbage. I don't want any part of it.
Maybe that's the secret. You trash the Academy, you get yourself a nod.
But I have to respect them for that. I also respect them for picking Beasts of the Southern Wild, a small indie movie that everybody tends to avoid. But look at the big stuff. Look, what does Christopher Nolan have to do to be nominated for The Dark Knight or The Dark Knight Rises? The idea of changing the nominees from 5 to as many as 10.
Right.
They did 9, you know?
Right.
They couldn't have thrown that 10th one in when they had the opportunity to do that for him. They decided, no, we're not going to do that.
Now, you had said earlier on in an interview, in a piece that you had said that you were afraid that Beasts of the Southern Wild was going to get snubbed.
And it wasn't.
It wasn't snubbed. Supporting actress.
No,
This was
main
the
actress.
main actress,
So
the
you
youngest.
you have the youngest and the oldest. Emmanuel Riva is 85, and
I can't pronounce her name.
Shuvnjani Wallace.
Thank you very much.
Is the person who was 6 when she made this movie and is 9 now, and I think that's a sign that some kind of change is happening in the Academy.
What about Skyfall? Were you surprised?
Yes, and you know, Skyfall, they're giving a tribute, a 50th anniversary tribute
Right.
to James Bond on the Oscars. Javier Bardem, I thought, was terrific in this movie and deserved a supporting nomination, but they said no. Why? And why indeed are they leaving out people who are stars that usually come in and help a show get watched? Christoph Waltz did give the best performance in Django Unchained,
Right.
but Leonardo DiCaprio was in that, making a big splash in it, and they're saying, no, we're not going to do that for you. So there's no Leo, there's no Javier Bardem. They took out somebody who is extremely popular, Maggie Smith, who is in 2 movies,
Yeah.
Best Exotic Marigold Hotel and Quartet. We love her on Downton Abbey. And they said, Best Supporting Actress, it's not you. So Jackie Weaver got in there.
Right.
Surprise in here is that everybody in Silver Linings Playbook is nominated. People were worried that wasn't going to move in the Oscars. It did. And the Directors Guild that usually determines these things, they did not nominate Tom Hooper for Les Miserables, which was considered Lincoln's big competition.
Yeah.
That's not looking good for Les Miserables.
A big snub. Lincoln, in fact, is leading the number of nominations with 12. And you had called that right before they went out.
Well, my work is done here.
We don't even have to replay the tape for the proof on
that's
that.
It. But didn't you, Dan, think when you heard Seth MacFarlane, what a great host he's going to be?
There
at
is going to
the
be some
Oscars?
bite. There is definitely going to be some bite.
This guy's, and we had planned, thank goodness, that they nominated Suddenly as Best Song from Les Mis, because Dan and I are actually going to sing our way out of this later for you.
Okay, I didn't know that we were actually
We're going
going
to do that.
Oh, all right. I guess a good thing I've practiced earlier this morning. Overall, movies for 2012, what do you think? Can you put a description or a definition? Was there a theme? Was it excitement? Was Hollywood at its finest?
An amazing thing happened. It was a great year for movies, but the really amazing thing is that the Academy Award nominations basically went along with popular taste. Lincoln has made over $150 million.
Wow.
Les Mis is over $100 million. I look at all of these lists of movies and I say, look what's happening. Argo is an amazing hit. And I'm going to go out on a limb again and say, despite all Lincoln's nominations, despite all of this that's happening, Ben Affleck and Argo is the dark horse.
Really?
I think
you think he really proved himself in this one?
I think he did prove himself. I think that's more of an old school movie. You know, there's a lot of controversy about Zero Dark 30 because of Washington, D.C. getting in the act saying, how do you know what was going on? What do you know about waterboarding? We want to investigate what CIA people you talked about. The Academy doesn't like that much controversy. They like something, especially when it's in the past. Look, last year's winner is The Artist. You know,
Right.
Before that, it's The King's Speech.
Right.
They love it when it's period. They love it when it's a little safer. than Zero Dark 30 is.
So maybe Zero Dark 30 could have stood, in your mind, a better chance if it was maybe 10, 15 years from now.
Yeah, I think if it came there because they're thinking, oh, well, maybe we don't want to encourage this. Maybe these people are doing. I hope not.
Right.
I really hope not, because I think Catherine Bigelow did the best job. And I've been given this, which is everybody at home needs to know this.
Okay.
When you're in your Oscar pool,
Right.
the best editing category that people pretend to not care about, you do not win Best Picture if you're not nominated as Best Editing. It's 90% of the time, this is what happens. So always look at that category. And those nominees are Argo, Lincoln, Life of Pi, Silver Linings Playbook, and Zero Dark 30. So I think the death knell is being rung for Les Miserables.
Wow. With a 90% odds, I suppose that's not the one you want to put the chips on.
They dreamed a dream, and it's just, it's
Like-
just not happening.
Apparently, it is not Susan Boyle.